this is Tina with You Made That, and today I have Lydia with me.
Hello.
And Lydia is going to show us how she transformed her guest room / office, home office, into a wonderful room. We can kind of see hints behind you.
Yes.
I was really impressed when I saw the work she did on Instagram. So I said, will you come on and talk about it? And she said yes. So
Yeah,
yay.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I've been following your channel and been so inspired by the videos you've already posted. So I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yay. Well, thank you. And thank you for watching, and everyone else too.
Yes.
So I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
absolutely. So yeah, I guess I can just start with like introducing myself, who I am, what I do. My name is Lydia. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I am a graphic designer and photographer. So I will preface that I am not an interior designer, but I do just love making things look great. And I've always been a crafter and a DIYer. And so I thought this is a new house to me and my husband. And so I thought I'd love to redo a room in the house and see what I can do just by myself and with my own hands and tools. So
Yay. Well, very nice. Did your husband help at all, or was this pretty much your 100% project?
yeah, it was all me. I had him help me drill a few holes to hang my shelves, but that was pretty much it. So I told him where to put everything, and he just helped with the hanging part. So
Nice.
very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked painting. Painting is
Yes.
just a great feeling.
Yeah, it's so fun. I've always like helped other people. Like my parents have done a few painting jobs throughout the years, so I've like assisted, but I've never done it all myself or picked out colors. And so just going to Home Depot for the first time, looking at paint and asking all the questions was really fun to go through that process. So
Nice. Well,
yeah,
yeah, let's talk about that process, because
yeah,
a lot of times we're like, I don't know where to begin. Well,
yes.
how did you begin?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I always start with a mood board, just like with being in graphic design. That's how I start every project, whether I'm making a label for something or designing a website or a logo. I always start with a mood board. Like, what do I want the room or the space to feel like? What colors are resonating with me? So over the course of a few months, I would just go onto Pinterest, and if I ever saw something that inspired me, I'd save it to a board. So I had a board specifically for this room. So I would save like, so this room, let me just back up a little bit, is kind of our guest room. So it has two purposes. I want people that come visit to be able to stay here and have it be a comfortable place for them to sleep, but also it's my office. So I'm at my desk right now and the bed is on the other side of the room. So when I was saving things on Pinterest, I was looking for both of those pieces. So I'm looking at guest rooms that inspire me and office settings so that I could kind of make this room like a really good mix of both of those things. So I would save like any wall colors that I liked, layouts, wall art. I have this day bed behind me, so if a day bed popped up or pillows that I really liked, I would just save everything that resonated with me to this board. And then a cool thing that happens kind of over time when you're doing this, you go back to the board and you start to see patterns that are happening, like things that are resonating with you that over time you kind of see like showing up in a way. So like for me, like I love typography. I have this poster that I made when I studied abroad in Rome. So I saved a lot of things with like heavy typography, black accents. I also noticed from my board that I saved a lot of things that had like an accent wall. So as you can see, I did actually 2 out of the 4 walls, like more of an accent color. So just things that I noticed were happening. I was like, okay, I'm seeing this, that I'm really resonating with it. I'm resonating with warm colors. I really wanted to like bring some warmth, cozy textures into the space. So that's how I started. And then I kind of went from there.
Cool. I really like that idea of looking at what you've picked and you see a pattern. I
Yes.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
thought of that.
Yeah, it's great. I actually, where that like theory or idea came from, I read a book last year called The Cozy Minimalist Home. It's by a gal named Michaelin. I might be saying that wrong, Michaelin Smith. But she is an interior designer, I believe. And so she kind of like simplifies a process on how to like figure out the vibe you want in a room. And she has a very interesting philosophy. I'd recommend the book, but I didn't quite follow her process like 100% because she recommends like taking everything out of the room to like quiet the space and just observe it. But I couldn't take everything out of the room because I have a very small house. So so I just kind of looked at what I needed the room to be and feel and what I like, and then went from there. But she did have some really interesting tips on, like, that mood board example was from her. So
And also the point about having a day bed makes a lot of sense because
yes.
doesn't it fold out and become bigger when guests come?
Yes, exactly. So you can see it sort of in the background. It is a twin bed on its own, and it kind of acts as like almost like a little sofa. So if my husband's in here reading a book, he can hang out with me while I'm working at my desk. But it actually, this whole bottom piece slides out and it turns into a king size bed.
Wow.
So that was huge. I actually found this day bed at IKEA originally, and then I looked for it on Facebook Marketplace to find it used, and it was a great deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Great idea. Has anyone stayed in the room yet?
yes, yeah, both my parents, my husband's parents have come to visit, and then a couple of friends so far have tried it out, and they said it's very comfortable, so that's good.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
It's tested and true.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay. So we'll start with the mood board, and then what's the next step?
yeah, so then you kind of have to start narrowing down like what you want in your space. So I started with color palette. I thought, narrowing down like a color or like the range of colors that you want to use in the room can be really helpful with choosing everything else. So I was super inspired by this year, 2023's Color of the Year by Sherwin-Williams is called Red End Point, and that is this wall right here. So I saw that I think they posted it like in January, and I immediately got a paint sample because they send free paint samples. So I got that in the mail, and I just like taped it to my wall for a few weeks so I could see kind of what it would look like in different lighting, like during the daylight or nighttime. So I could just kind of like observe it over time. And I really liked it. What I liked especially is like my walls before were just everything was just pure white, and it was just so much white because the trim is white, the daybed is white, ceiling is white, like so many things were white, and it just was like no color, no warmth. It was kind of boring. I was like, I need like something like a pop of color in this space. So I was originally thinking like an off-white just to kind of keep it still clean and bright, but I was like, no, I really like this Red End Point. So I went with that one, and then I picked the other two walls, which will be this side of the room, to be a coordinate of the Red End Point. So on Sherwin-Williams website, if you scroll down, like a color that you're on, you scroll down, they'll give you like recommended colors that pair well with this color. So this was one of those, and that's called Crystal White, I believe, which has like a very warm red undertone, which I really liked because it pairs well with Red End Point. So yeah, so I picked my color palette, and then I picked out everything else based on that. So my pillows, I got a rug, and just a few other corkboard shelves that kind of all have a red undertone.
Make me want to redo a room.
It's fun. I recommend.
So when you said I took the color of the year, I'm thinking the Pantone color of the year.
Yeah.
So Sherwin-Williams is different than the
Yes.
Pantone color.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, each of the paint companies like Benjamin Moore and there's a few other ones, Behr, they all have their own color of the year. So I think some of them even have colors of the month, but they're a really great resource to like get inspired on their website because they all show examples of what the color looks like too, which is really helpful. But then ordering the free samples is just amazing. So
I didn't know any of this. So this
yeah. It's so fun. I love color. I mean, just the industry I'm in, I'm always like working with colors and picking out things that go well together. So
nice. Yay. And I like fonts too. So I didn't know you made that poster behind you. So that's cool.
Yeah, we went to like a print lab where they have like an offset, like the old style where you like set your letters and then you like roll ink onto it. So we did that. Yeah, it was awesome. So got it framed, and it looks wonderful in this room. So
it does. Yay. Okay, so Lydia made a little slideshow for us to look at as we talk about the next point?
Yeah, so I guess with talking about paint colors, I'm going to switch to the next slide and you'll be able to kind of see the before and the after right next to each other. So I'll start with the guest bed corner. So this is kind of like when you first walk in through the door, this is what you see. So as you can see, like I was alluding to the before, a lot of white, kind of boring. They did a horrible job of patching the walls. And so you can see like the little patch marks. So I just needed something fun and cozy in here. So I love how the after turned out. And as I alluded to, also like I added pillows, a throw blanket, a nightstand, a lamp, still looking for a lampshade that I like, and then a rug. So those kind of all tie really nicely with that color too. So.
Well, and I didn't realize you had wood floors. And so I
Yes.
love the little area rug there and
Yes.
and how the wood warmth comes in with the color.
Absolutely. And that was another thing. So the thing that's hardest to change in a room is the floor. So you want to pick a color that works well with your floor. You can always add rugs and things, but you know, if I went with like a more cool color, it could have kind of competed with the floor a little bit since it is like a dark, rich brown. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next point, let's stay on this. We talked about the daybed a little bit, but the next point is shop furniture.
Yeah, shop furniture. So yeah, I already told the story about the daybed, but that is if you are on a tight budget for redoing your house, that is my biggest recommendation is to shop on Facebook Marketplace, go on like any used like Craigslist. I've looked for things before, or even garage sales. You never know what you'll be able to find. And if you're really not too picky on what you end up with, then you can, you know, really get something that's great and is good, easy on the budget. So like I said too, I went to IKEA first. They have tons of great furniture, especially for small rooms. Like this room is pretty small. It's probably about like 10 by 10. And I found the day beds that I liked, and then I searched for that exact name of what the product was called on Facebook Marketplace. And since I live in Minneapolis, there's tons of people that have IKEA furniture here. So it was pretty easy to find this exact day bed pretty quickly and in good shape. So I would highly recommend that. And then the other pieces of furniture, oh, the nightstand is also from IKEA too. So but the other furniture, like the rug, the shelves, which I'll show you in a little bit, I got from Amazon. So just some basics that weren't super expensive, but easy to get and pick out exactly what I wanted. And then like the mirror is an heirloom from my grandma. So yeah, just kind of piecing together like things that I loved or have kept over time. And yeah, but I would highly recommend shopping for furniture as you build the room just to get things that fit with the vibe and the functionality that you're looking for.
Okay, let's switch to the next picture and talk about your desk.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the other side of my room. So this is the office side. So as you can see, the before is very cluttered. There's a lot going on. I didn't have a lot of storage to work with, and the wall is very bare, very boring. And you can see that awful shiny white that was used previously. So I wanted to bring in first a cork board. That was very important to me because I'm a very visual person. So to have a cork board behind my computer and just something I can always see, always glance up at, I just put up things that I've collected over the years. Like I have little notes from friends. I have like cards that people have sent me, Pantone colors that I love, photos of me and my husband, just like all the things that I love, I just put up on my board so I can see it every day. So that was really important. I knew I wanted a cork board. So I found a big one on Amazon and installed it on the wall with command strips, which work amazing for this kind of stuff. And then I got the floating shelves was another thing that I saw as a pattern on my Pinterest board of like the floating shelves showed up a lot. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get some floating shelves that kind of have a wood tone that brings in the floor a little bit. So that warm, darker red, but it has some variety. And then I can add some plants and some books and some things that I really love on there. So that's kind of where that came from. The chair is also an IKEA piece that I found on Facebook Marketplace. So such a great way to shop for furniture. And yeah, so that's a little bit about this area.
Now, what is to the right of your desk?
Yeah, so this room doesn't have a closet. So this is like just a storage thing that came with our house because it doesn't have a closet. So that's kind of where I keep all my art supplies and my sewing things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yay. Oh, it feels so good. Isn't it hard to take before pictures? Because
Yeah.
it's like, should I clean first?
Yes, but I'm also glad that I did because, some people, they're like, "Oh, it looks so bad, I don't even wanna capture it." But now that I have it and I can compare the 2, I'm like, "Wow, we've come a long way," and I am still looking for, like, a longer desk. I'd like to get a darker wood desk that spans from my shelving cabinet all the way to where the door opens so that I have more space. So I'm just shopping on Facebook Marketplace until I find the right one, but
You've got time, so that's
yes,
nice.
exactly. No rush. I have a desk that works, so
Mhm. Whoa, very nice. Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's go to the next point.
Yes.
Hang wall pieces. Yeah, so we talked about the shelves and the cork board.
Yep.
Yeah, and the picture with the typography
Yes.
behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have one other piece of artwork that you can see up on this wall, which is a Michelangelo, I don't know if you're familiar with the famous mural in the Vatican, which is also in Rome, but it's from Michelangelo, like painting God's hand, like the touch,
Oh,
Adam, the creation of Adam, I think is what they call it. But that is, yeah, there it is. So that's what I
okay.
put on that wall. So also kind of the Rome Italian touch to kind of build out that theme because that was a very important part of my life that was pivotal.
Oh,
um,
nice.
so yeah, but like I said too, I hung all my photos with command strips, like the Velcro ones. Those work amazing. So I just do like one in each corner, hang those up, press it for a while, and then you can easily take it down and move it if you ever want to rearrange. But then the floating shelves, like I said, my husband helped. They have like a metal bracket that you drill into the wall first, and then you slide like a wood cover over it. So those are pretty easy to install. But yeah, once you have the furniture in place and you have like all the big pieces picked out, then it's time to get stuff up on the wall and make it look homey.
Nice. Okay. I like the little plants too. A little touch of green here and there
Oh
too.
yes, love green. Yeah.
That's cute. Okay, so let's go back to the bed because there are some wonderful tip number 5 textures.
Yes. Yes, textures and all like the last minute like decor pieces you want to do at the very end. You don't want to get distracted by like adding in something before you're really ready. Like they talk in the book that I mentioned to quiet your space. Like you want it to be bare and empty. Take all your decorations out and just kind of like pay attention to the room. Like where are your eyes focusing? Where do you want a statement piece? So then you can kind of figure that out if you have more space to do it. So I love pillows. I love fabric and all things like textiles. So that's super an easy way to just like add in that color again that you picked out for the walls. So I had the throw blanket already, and then I made some of the pillows. I just really easily sewed them to like be a cover around like a pillow insert that I had. And I've been collecting fabric for tons of years, and I just keep things that I like. And so then I kind of built a palette around the wall color I chose. So we made those, added the rug, which is kind of like a woven jute textile. And I wanted a circle so that could kind of slide under the daybed a little bit and just kind of bring in some roundness. And I just like the curves. So yeah, textures. And then I'll switch back to my office and show these textures. I had like some terracotta pots and like tons of plants that I wanted because plants are an awesome texture to add to anything. So that was really important to me. I have like some vintage cameras that are a little bit more like boxy and shiny. So that's another texture. And then the wood is, a great texture too. So textures are great. You want a good variety when you're like decorating shelves and a good hierarchy of heights. So like I have like a taller print that's in the middle. So then like some shorter things on the edge to kind of give like a shape to my shelf. So you want to do all these things last, but it's a really fun part of the process.
I recognize that taller print.
Yes, that is by Casey. She made it, and I was so excited because it has the Colosseum on it. I know it's far away, so it's hard to see, but it tied right into my color palette and the Italian theme. So I was like, this has to be on my shelf.
Nice. Yep. Casey Creatives Design. That's
Yes,
her.
shameless plug.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. I'm going to move this. Okay. So back to your pillows. Are those buttons on some of them?
Yes. Yeah, I also collect buttons.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
just gonna grab one so that you can kind of
Okay.
see how I made it. But I had these, I think these buttons were from an old sweater that I had. So I took them off of that and I kept them for a really long time. And I was like, someday I'm gonna use these buttons. So I paired it with this fabric and then I put the zipper underneath to kind of hide it. So they're not like functional buttons, they're just decorative buttons. But then the zipper opens up. It's like one of those like hidden zippers. And then you can easily take this cover off and wash it or do whatever you need to. So yeah,
Wow.
that's how I did that.
Look at you all. And then I just easily made pillows.
It was so fun. Yeah.
No, she added zippers and everything. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's
and I
nice.
wouldn't have thought of that. To put buttons on there, but more
Yeah.
texture,
Yes.
and it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. And like
like
the wood color, I just loved everything about these. So I was like, I have to incorporate them. So
nice.
yeah.
So would you consider the room finished?
I would say it's mostly finished. Like I said, still looking for maybe upgrading my desk to something bigger with more storage. And then I need a lampshade. But other than that, we are good to go. So
So you're like, okay, I'm not going to make any more pillows. That's like done.
yeah, I'm really happy with, I think my husband would kind of raise an eyebrow if I made more pillows because he's already like, there's a lot of pillows on here, but it's a day bed. You have to have a lot of pillows on a day bed. So
Yeah.
yes.
Well, and I really like the vision that you had too. Like, I knew I wanted a round rug, and it's like, wow, I don't know if I would have thought of that, but that's great.
Yes.
You had
Yeah.
this vision and
Yes.
made it
Yeah.
happen.
You just
Yeah.
have to be confident and just go for it, or at least try it out. I even kind of tried to like make a mock-up of like what my room would look like, just like screenshotting the items I wanted on Amazon and looking at them all together to make sure I liked, the rug with the floor color and like just kind of thinking about all those things. And you can always return things too, like my lampshades. I tried two already from Target and I didn't like them, so I just brought it back. So it
Yeah.
works out.
It's the paint that's a commitment.
Yes.
Once you put it on, it's like, oh, I hope I like this.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why you got to tape it to your wall and take it all in for a few days or weeks.
Nice. Whoa, how inspiring. Again, it makes me want to redo a room.
Yeah, I would say go for it.
Well, very good. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in the video, like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and maybe we can have Lydia on again.
Yes, I would love to.
And and we can answer questions that come up, but this was very inspiring and I appreciate you sharing your room with us.
Yes, absolutely. It's been such a fun project. So thank you all for watching and hope this inspires you.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.